I am so excited to be sharing an app with you that I've been loving recently for managing my content as a creative, but also using it for the personal side of life as well. So if you're looking for a highly customizable and visual app for planning and productivity, then you're going to love xTiles. xTiles is so kind enough to sponsor today's video as well. xTiles is a productivity web-based app with its mobile companion, and it's highly visual and can be utilized for a number of different use cases, for client work, education and schooling, like college notes and class notes and things like that, designers or content creators like myself. But it can also be used like a second brain for your life notes, lists, trackers, and so much more. xTiles is unique in that rather than being forced to organize your information linearly or kind of down a list, you can actually organize and categorize your information with the use of tiles. It allows you to be in full control of how you customize your digital spaces for work and personal use, but it still has very familiar tools like databases that you can use to set up your workflows. I think the concept is really unique, and once I've started creating my setup in xTiles, I knew I had to share it with you, knowing that many of you value a very highly personal and customizable workspace. And I think xTiles is just so easy to use, and I think you'll enjoy it. At the end of this video, I am going to be sharing a free template that you can duplicate and use for your own setup or for practice with getting started with xTiles. So here's a look at my work and personal space. I'm gonna hop over into my workspace for right now. And you can see that I can actually create essentially different hubs within these workspaces. So if I click new project over here, I can start from scratch, or I can use the templates. And of course I can import from Markdown if I have Markdown files to use as well. So here along the side, you can see their huge host of templates within their template gallery. And of course you can go under productivity, there's personal and life, education, marketing. So you can get started very quickly with xTiles with the templates they already have available in their template library, or you can start from scratch if that doesn't seem as intimidating. I'm gonna hop over into my team hub first before we dive into using templates. So this is a look at what my hub looks like. I've set a custom cover, but you can change covers, upload your own files, things like that to make it even more customizable and visual. A lot of this will probably feel familiar for you, but what's great about xTiles is that these are tiles that I personally set and created, and I just think that's a really unique way of using a kind of productivity system. So here is my branding section for KDigitalStudio. These are assets like my logos and things that can be downloaded that people can access and use for those that I am working with, as well as my branding colors. Over here on the side, I have my mission, and these are tiles that I've created, but obviously they are of different media. So I can do images, I can do just text or quotes. I can also upload files. So down here in my font section, I have the TTF files for my fonts as well. So that is really cool. Of course, here, just to demonstrate, I can go in and create any size tile that I want. I can make it a simple note, an image, I can do a task, I can do a simple table. I can do pretty much anything and customize, my colors of the notes or how I want it to appear, my text, whether or not I would like it to have an icon and things like that. So I think this is just a really unique way to kind of visualize our content as creators or in our personal life. Here across the top, we have our tabs, and I really like the way this looks in xTiles to have kind of these tabs. It reminds me of Planner, and I love planning and digital planning and things like that. So I really enjoy kind of that visual appearance within xTiles. So here is my branding assets, my branding board, which is really helpful to have as a creative or as a small business and things like that, to be able to share this with your team. Over here on my next tab, I have pillars. And so these are just kind of the content pillars of KDigitalStudio. Again, very easy to set up within xTiles, and it's a very important feature within my own workspace for my boards. So these are really helpful. Of course, I can adjust my tiles if I need to and come in and add, additional information if I needed to for my boards here. My next tab is my videos tab, and this allows me to share information about my videos with people like editors or people that I want to review my scripts, brands I'm working with, things like that. And so here is a look at my board for my videos. This is a table view, so I can still have databases, still have organized tables within xTiles that I can use as well. And of course I can set different views for this information. So I can have it set to a calendar view, so I can switch over to a calendar and see that listed out in a calendar, or I can do a gallery view, kind of see my information organized within these cards as well. There are different views to use, but these are the three that I like to use specifically for videos. And what's great about these is that I can do a number of different columns of the information that I want to use. So for example, I have dates that I want to publish my videos, the title of the video. I can change the status of my videos here as well. So I can do scheduled or things like that for my videos. I can also assign it to a specific person. So if I'm working with an editor, I can assign that to my editor or things like that. And so that's just really helpful to be able to assign people to videos, assign people from my team to review the content that I am releasing. Then I have my platform here. So obviously this is kind of just my YouTube section, but I can add in different platforms like Instagram or TikTok, things like that. And I do have a content page built out for all of that I'll show you in just a moment. Here I have a thumbnail section, so I can actually upload images and then have that as my thumbnail, so I know what thumbnails I need to grab for certain videos, and I can download that straight from xTiles as well. And then I have a notes column if I need to add in any notes. Within my videos though, I can actually press this little arrow here to kind of expand that, and then I can write additional content within. So I can write in my research and my notes, video title ideas, my script, things that I want to do for my videos for work as well. And what's great is that I can actually assign a checklist. And so whenever I go down my checklist, I can go ahead and check off things for that video if I needed to. And then what's great is that xTiles actually integrates those tasks into its own kind of like inbox system or task list. So if I come up here to this icon called tasks, it's actually going to pretty much grab all of my tasks from my xTiles workspaces and kind of categorize them here on the side. And I can access from anywhere within xTiles, which is really great. So I can see all of the checklists that I need for that day. And what's great is that it also integrates with my Google Calendar. So if I click the calendar icon, it'll pull up my Google Calendar and I can see all of the information that I stored in my Google Calendar as well and access that from within my xTiles. So now whenever I go into my xTiles, I can see information that I've added to my calendar and kind of organize my work life that way. So you can see of things that I've added to my work calendar and things like that, but you can also see that under tasks as well. It shows you kind of things that I need to do for my work day as a creative, and that's great. And if I assign certain tasks to my work members, teammates, things like that, it'll pop up under the assigned category. I really think this is a unique part of xTiles because they have this task sections, this calendar section that I don't normally see in other productivity apps. I like seeing that all in one place, and I like how it's pulling from my workspaces in xTiles to do that. My next tab for my Team Hub is all of my content, and this will probably look very familiar to you as well. It has it grouped based off the platform. So I have Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and here I can go in and write kind of what the post is about, what time I plan on posting that, the date I plan on posting it, and the status of it, whether I've posted it, planned it, drafted it, if I'm still kind of thinking on it and researching ideas for that, as well as what area, whether it's working with a specific brand, if I'm showcasing one of my products or somebody else's product, whether I need to grab any visuals for that and keywords and other materials that I might need. And of course, if I need to assign it to a certain team member. So this is really nice to kind of see it all at a glance within a table. But of course, I can organize that by board. Board is really helpful for me, especially to be able to see what or how much of tasks are within a certain category. So whether I have a bunch of posts that I need to plan and need to have a planning day, or if there's a bunch of posts in draft and I need to have kind of script and research day, I can do that with this as well. I can also organize it by platform. So if I want to see it organized by Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, things like that, or I can organize it based off whether or not I need visuals. So this is filtered to only show me content that I still need to grab visuals for, and then I can kind of prepare those assets for my workspace. And then of course we have calendar view, so I can see at a glance when things are going up and if I need to move anything around. So it's really helpful to be able to organize them by different views. And of course I can add different views. I can hit the plus button and organize it by board, table, calendar, and kind of go in and create certain properties that I want to organize them by, which is really helpful. Then I have my planner tab here, and you'll see that I've actually created essentially 2 different pages within a tab, which I think is really cool and unique to xTiles as well. So this is my planner for May. This is where I can go in and kind of grab my goals and objectives, make note of any important dates that I need, any post ideas that I have, essentially brain dump in my notes section, or any ideas that I might have as far as what my team thinks I should incorporate in my channel for KDigitalStudio, or the content that I should share. And then of course, if I need to hop over into the next month and prepare for June, I can do that as well. And then of course, within this tab, I can actually create a page, and then I can set up July or things like that to set up and get started that way. So that is all really exciting and helpful. And I enjoy being able to have specific pages within a tab as well. So even more granular organization if I need to access that. Of course, I have a calendar view here, and this is showing my videos from my previous database. And so it's really helpful to be able to have access to multiple calendars and kind of toggle and filter what I need to see for that. And then of course I have a Kanban board, again, of that same videos file, but I have these as 2 separate tabs to make it even easier to click into these and access these as well. So this is my work hub, and I can access my tasks here from the side, add tasks here if I need to, and also access my calendar, which I think is really helpful. And I really like how xTiles especially fosters kind of a team environment, makes it really easy and intuitive to use and to share with others. So this is my team hub and my essential workspace for KDigitalStudio. So just to illustrate how easy it is to use xTiles, I'm going to come over here to my personal workspace, and I'm just going to start a new project from scratch. And you'll see that I just have pretty much this blank canvas to get started with xTiles. I can come over here and change my cover. So if I wanted to change it, let's look up flower. And if I wanted to change it to something like this, I really like the way that looks. So I can have my own cover. I can create my own covers and then upload them to my xTiles as well. And then I could change this to, whatever I want my space to be, personal workspace, something like that. Personal dashboard, maybe. I can come over here and change my icons. I can use an emoji, things like that. So let's just do smile. Maybe we'll do this. That's funny. And then I can come over here and I can actually drag to create and resize these different tiles. So I can do something very large like this. And then what I can do is I can have it be a simple note. I can upload an image, I can write task, things like that. If I press this button here, this tile style button, I can actually change the way the tile appears. So I can add kind of a dark header here. If I come back over here, I can change my color if I wanted to. So let's kind of have it match the flower a bit here. I can also change the font size of my tile as well. I'm gonna go with large, and we'll go with no icon. And then I can name this, personal checklist or something like that. Then I come here and I can use my backslash to essentially pull up different functions within xTiles that I can use. So I can do a divider, for instance, or if I need to access a checklist, I can do that. Right, and important to do with typos. Things like that I can do within xTiles. I can come over here and create another tile and resize that. And if I wanted to do an image here, I could do that. And then what I can do is I can actually resize and move these tiles around to really make my workspace even more customizable to how I want it to appear. So I can move this around and just move these tiles wherever I want without feeling confined to a specific workspace. So I can have them all spread out. I can move them around, I can create different notes in different sizes, and it's just all really simple and easy to use xTiles. Assign a task. So it's really easy to have fun and really customize your workspaces and really make it vibe with you and how you want to kind of essentially picture your own workspace. I can add in different pages, I can add different tabs, I can set up different views for my pages or different databases. It's all really intuitive and visual and simple. If this feels kind of intimidating to set up your own workspace, you can use my shared free template that I'll have at the end of this video, but you can also access their template gallery and kind of pull these in. So I can do a daily planner setup or a weekly planner setup, but also for things like work, I can pull in from sales or design or client dashboards to really build out my workspace, share it with my team members, share it with clients, share it with other creatives to really have my workspace, help others and move through different workflows and have that information organized visually and aesthetically. If I click the home button, I can hop over into my personal workspace, and you'll see that I've actually created separate hubs essentially for my personal workspace. Makes it really easy to categorize in a number of different ways that might work for your workflows. So for my pages here, I have a daily planner, a this week template, and a yearly overview. I'm gonna start with my daily planner here. Here's a look at my daily planner. So this is great for getting started. You can see I used a number of different tiles here to have my different lists or my notes or my brain dumping. I can also add in my schedule here. You can add in images. You can also embed things, so like this calendar or a weather widget, things like that. So it's very easy and very familiar to use xTiles. So this is kind of a look at how I like to set up my daily pages, and I can come in here and edit and assign different checklists and to-do lists for myself. So I can have film xTiles video as an example for things that I like to do for my board here. I have a reflection section and a shopping list. So I have things like that that I can add to my list as well as my notes here. So for this, I can come in and write what I need to do. Under my daily planner, I also have a habits section, and this is great for me to separate out my habits for the week. I'm really bad about keeping track of my habits, so it's really nice having a separate tab for my habit planner, and I can go in and add, different images, checklists, things like that. So for this, I've added in different checklists for my habit tracker as well. So for Thursday, I can go in and add in my habits for the week that I've already done. And I can just simply check this off. What's great is that whenever I hover over a section here, I can actually add that to my calendar as well. I can add a time, I can add a reminder for these things. And so all of this is really easy and familiar to use within. I can also go in and drag and make a tile. And so if I wanted to add another motivational image to the section, kind of decorate it up a bit, I can easily do that. And then I can adjust and resize my tabs or adjust and resize my tiles as needed within this. So this is another way of being able to use the features within xTiles to really build out my own workspaces that are very visual and very beautiful to use. If I wanted to add another section to my daily planner, I can add a page, and sometimes a blank page can be a little intimidating and not knowing where to start or how you want to visualize your content. So it's really easy to be able to come in here and then add in based off their template library. So if I come up through here and then look in their template gallery, I can see different things that I might want to use for my kind of personal space. So you see that there is a second brain section. So if you wanted to add a second brain to your personal workspace or even your workspace, you can use this. So if I click into this, you can actually see kind of the features of the template. And then I can just click use this template. I'm going to add it to my existing project rather than create a new one. So now I have it added within my daily planner. And then I can go in and set my yearly goals here. So this is how they have up my templates. And they also already have their own habit tracker, and this is a little bit more nicer and advanced than mine. So you can easily get started with something really simple, or you can use a lot of the templates that they have available within their template library. And then of course, it looks like we can access different pages from within their tabs. So different work areas, different resources for our second brain, and then archived notes or collections, past projects, things like that. So that is really great to have within my daily planner especially. Here is the dashboard view of my second brain. So these are actually links to the pages as well. So very similar setup to other productivity apps. I can actually set up links to jump into other tabs or other sections of my space. So if I wanted to jump into projects, I can click that and it'll actually pull me into projects. So these are kind of set up kind of like a home page to be able to access additional sections of my spaces. So that's a great setup, really easy to use, and it'll feel pretty familiar when you're working with this if you've used other productivity apps. I can use this plus icon here, and then I can see what blocks I can create within my tiles. So I can assign a task, I can add notes and bookmarks, I can embed things, add images. But here, even just under kind of basic categories, headings and dividers, quotes, tables, and I can embed different notes or embed different pages within. And there's just all kinds of things that I can do as far as styling or writing within my tiles as well. If I hop out of my daily planner page, we can go in and see other pages that I use within my personal workspace. For my yearly overview, this is just kind of how I want to review my year. I still need to go in and add in my 2023, but I already have my 2024 set up. So this was really easy and simple to set up within xTiles. All I had to do is drag to create these tiles, add in my text, add in emojis. I can go in and add in images. Very easy to set up and use xTiles. And then I can create different tabs for each year. So I can create one for 2024, or if I wanted to, I can, go in and create 2025 and so on. So this is very simple, easy to use, very intuitive, and it looks really great. I can come in and change my covers, upload my own covers, maybe that I've created on Canva or things like that. They just have really great things that I can pull from to create really nice templates that are visual and inviting and aesthetic and things like that. And I know those are things that many of you value in creating your own productivity spaces, your own second brains, your own lists and trackers and things like that. But this is really nice to be able to go in and do my list, write what inspired or excited me, and just my favorite things from the year that I can go in and write, because I definitely want to get better about reviewing my year at the end of each year. And so this is really exciting for me to be able to set that up within xTiles. And xTiles just makes it so easy and so beautiful looking to see that information as well. And then if I hop back out, I have one other space that I wanted to share, and this is the free template that I created that you can duplicate and use for yourself for your own xTiles setup that I'll have linked down in the description below. This is one that I've set up and created using a lot of the features within xTiles, and it was very easy to use and set up and create this template as well. And so if you want to get started with xTiles, you can duplicate this into your workspace and use it, and I just think it's really simple, easy to use, and uses a lot of the features within xTiles. So I did set up a kind of checklist for your goals for the month. So I have this set up, and then I have priorities. So you can assign yourself tasks or add tasks that you want to show up in your kind of task box over here. You can add tasks for this week. I did add a quote here that you can change, add in your own favorite quotes, things like that. I added a habit tracker using the simple table within xTiles as well. So I can go in and add in whatever I want for my habits here. I did add a simple sticky note here, so you can add in your own little sticky notes. I added in an image, and then I embedded a widget kind of showing you how far along we've gotten in the year. There's a lot of fun that you can do with embeds within xTiles as well. So that's all super fun and exciting. And then if I want to add in, a calendar, things like that to this page, I can do that as well. I'm just gonna have a blank calendar view, call this calendar, and then I can add a calendar and see my Google Calendar and my tasks pulled into this as well. I really enjoy using xTiles. I enjoy how visual it is. I enjoy how easy it is to use, using either the templates from their template gallery or creating my own from scratch. It's all really fun, really exciting, very intuitive, very visual, and I just think it looks very unique and beautiful because of the concept of tiles and being able to add in a number of different things within those tiles: text, images, checklists, tasks, tables, all of it to really build out very personal and very customizable workspaces for yourself or for your team, for your clients. Okay, so here is a look at my workspace in xTiles. Here along the side, you'll see team spaces and personal spaces. So like I said before, you can use xTiles for your own personal use, your life notes, your reading lists, your trackers, things like that, of that nature. Use it as a second brain, use it to hold all of the knowledge that you're acquiring, things like that. Things that you might also use Notion for, but you can also use it for work. You can use it for taking notes for college. You can use it for connecting with your clients. You can set up kind of client databases within xTiles as well, which has really great use cases. For me, I like to use it for my content creation work. So if I need to share assets of KDigitalStudio with someone I'm working with, I can easily do that with xTiles. So that was an overview of my workspaces in xTiles for my work with KDigitalStudio, but also for my personal life planning and my lists and reviews. I hope you all enjoyed the walkthrough of my setup and some of the features that I feel like you would really enjoy with xTiles. I'm having a lot of fun moving a lot of my content and my knowledge databases over into xTiles, make it super visual and easy to use. I will have a link in the description for you to check out and try xTiles for yourself, along with a free weekly planning template that I showed earlier in this video that you can duplicate and use and add to your own setup as you're getting started with xTiles. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!